I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby. Welcome to the Weather Show with Vin Crosby. Behind me, you can see a couple of things. Over here on the tree, dangerous river conditions posted by the Boise City. If you enter the water, you're not going to be, well, if you survive, you're going to be charged a fine to be rescued if you survive. And the chances of that very, very, very low because of the river conditions behind me. Second highest crest in history since we started recording the gauges at Glenwood Bridge. Today, it didn't take long. At one point, the river just soared 300 CFS because of the warm temperatures. A high temperature of 72 degrees today has many people out walking the Greenbelt, has many people out enjoying the wonderful evening. But the other story, over this shoulder, back up through the trees, yep, the snow-covered mountains. We had a tremendous dumping of snow just recently with a shot of cold air. It's going to happen again. Another band of rain, and, well, the clouds are building on in from the west even as we speak. And so for Thursday and Friday, much colder conditions, and don't be surprised to see snow flying in the Treasure Valley on Friday. Temperatures will drop down to around freezing or below overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. So protect any of those new plants you planted this time of the year. So a dramatic change coming in our weather once again, and the mountains will see substantial snowfall. Why is this such a bad thing? Well, it's because now we're going to add more snow to the snowpack, which is already off the charts, and it's going to be a slower melt. And you know as I do, it's just a matter of time before temperatures soar into the 80s and that rapid melt happens. And then when those reservoirs get full, and they're close to being full right now, when they're filled up, any rain that comes in, they're going to have to dump more water into the river. So this is an extremely dangerous situation that has developed along the Boise River, and it's not done anytime soon. Speaking of those river levels, check out what happened this afternoon with some of the river levels around the Glenwood Bridge. This river level update is brought to you by ServiceMaster Restore, the Meridian franchise. The Meridian franchise will specialize in any emergency disaster cleanup, flooding, or mold repair. Just give them a call at 208-344-5511. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. ServiceMaster Restore, the Meridian franchise, is who you need to call. www.smcrs.com. smcrs.com. All right, April 12, 2017. Here's what happened at the Boise River gauge at Glenwood Bridge today. Unbelievable. Look at that. From 3:30 to 4 p.m., the river levels jumped 300 CFS. It's 86.77 was the top of the charts today. That's 11.2 feet. Now, the flood stage is at 7,000 CFS and 10.3 feet. Tremendous amount of water. Then, now what will happen as the releases continue? Notice between 4 and 4:30, it came down to 85.96 CFS, well above the flood stage. A minor flooding. This is the minor category, even though it's real messy now. And we just got to get up to, I think it's around 10,000 CFS or 11,000 CFS for the moderate flooding. So we're not there yet, but still the water levels are going to rise. The highest peak we had at Glenwood Bridge, around 9,840 CFS. Well, I think we're going to make a run at that, easily over 9,000. We told you that a few weeks ago. Look at that. Today, just around, 233 or 223 below the 9,000 CFS mark. Tremendous. All right, so that's a look at the Boise River gauge. Remember, these bridges, pretty secure, but when the trees get dammed up underneath, big logs that come on down, that's when the water will really start backing up. This message on the river levels provided by, again, ServiceMaster Restore, the Meridian franchise. Now back to the Weather Show. That was incredible, and thank you to our new sponsor. And boy, there'll be more of them to come for sure, but the river level's soaring today. It got as high as 8,611 CFS. Now, 9,000 is where we're going, folks. We're going to be over 9,000. This is the second highest the river has ever been. here at the Boise River. So I'm over here in the Fairview Bridge here in downtown Boise. Clearly you can see the water raging behind me. Notice the water, the force up against that little island there. Usually that is well exposed, and the water raging through there. What's going to happen is a lot of that is going to be undermined, and a lot of those islands are going to give way, and then eventually when the water does get over that 9,000 CFS, we're going to start to see some of these islands move on downstream and get dammed up underneath bridges like that. There will be water over some roadways here in the Treasure Valley for sure because of this dangerous situation. Water levels probably going to hang out around 8,500 CFS. The flood warning remains in effect for Ada and Canyon counties, and the water is going to get higher. 9,840 CFS, I believe, is the top. We have a good chance of making a run at that, especially now that we're going to get more snow in the mountains over the next couple of days. And then when the temperatures get into the 80s and all that water fills up into the reservoirs very quickly, by the way, we're almost there. And then if we get any more rain that falls, which is going to be coming this spring as well, that's when these water levels could get extremely high. So if you live along the river, make sure you have the important papers all in hand, your insurance papers, any pictures. You may want to move them up to the second floor just to be on the safe side. And then, of course, if you're driving on some of these roads and these bridges, the bridges structurally should be fine, but it won't take long for water to come over Eagle Road, sections of State Street, and down on Chinden Boulevard, going on down towards 43rd Street, 47th Street, anywhere along the river. That's when the water levels are going to start seeping in across the road. So that's the weather show for this Wednesday, April 12th, 2017. Be sure to have your friends and family subscribe to the weather show and email us at theweathershow1@gmail.com. Any pictures you may have or anything like that of you. And don't go near the river to take those pictures. Keep yourself safe. But if you have any weather pictures, please send them to the weather show with Vin Crosby.